Welcome to the eSkillful Means Program. We are on topic 7. It's about the 5 truths. These 5 truths are like the rules of the game. Like in the human development, what is it that we have to learn in order to develop as a human being? To let our inner talents flourish. So just like any situation, any discipline, there are rules of the game. Human development has it too. They're like the parameters that you need to know. They're not moral ethics. It's not like dogmas or things you should or shouldn't do. It's like if you know them, it will help you. If you ignore them, it will hurt you. So it's fair to say that if there is stress, it's because one of these 5 truths is not taken into consideration. Not only not taken into consideration, but actually outright violated. If you neglect these 5 truths, there's trouble. These 5 truths, first of all, learn them. Learn these 5 truths without immediately worrying how should you apply them. So the 5 truths are appreciation, time, the law of karma, awareness, sometimes it's called the needlessness of suffering, but encapsulating it with the word awareness is far greater. And the truth of awareness is really what's our biggest hope and the promise of our life. That's hidden in awareness. And finally, the interdependence between all that exists within ourselves, the interdependence, and the interdependence between us and the environment, and within the environment itself. So our recommendation will be is that you learn the 5 truths and that you respect them, like these 5 are important. For example, appreciation. Appreciation is an experience. It far exceeds the idea of being positive or having gratitude. It's an experience that comes naturally when your energies flow, when you're interacting, when you are in harmony with the 5 truths, you will feel appreciation. And what's the benefit of that? Well, first of all, appreciation works much, much better than negativity because things flow. But underneath, there's a very powerful idea about appreciation. And number 1 is that those people who appreciate the opportunities of life, of work, of being able to relate, they become self-reliant. So self-reliance is actually nurtured by the experience of appreciation. You're not dependent on other people's approval. You're not dependent on being seen. And even in the midst of a crisis, there's this internal, self-nourishing principle going on. It is appreciation. You could say it is really the meaning of having a good time. And it might be not a good idea to try to summarize these 5 in this 3-minute video because they're in the lesson. But the one of time is also very important. So there's only one power greater than us, and that is time. So if we ignore time, of course we will always be short of time. We will always be out of time. We will always be pressed by time. So we can make a structure in time. And the structure in time really means aligning our energy and our mind to the rhythms and cycles of time. So including the 5 truths, it seems that our lives will go more our way. That doesn't mean it's easy. It might actually mean that life is getting more and more deep and intense and different kind of obstacles emerge. Probably because you can handle them now and before you were not aware of them or they didn't come your way. So these 5 truths are really, if you know them, you begin to know the playing field. You begin to know the parameters of human development. So if you look back at things that are troubling, you can always point to one of the 5 truths not being adhered to. So especially if you're self-centered or egoistic, which is normal in a way, that's kind of how we are brought up and how we think we should survive, it really has severe consequences both for our own health and for others. So it is more natural to know about our interdependence with others. And the example in this class you will get of the 100 trillion cells that we are made up of. If you look at the 100 trillion cells that make up our being, they are like interdependent. And the same is true for us. We're all like a cell in the giant body of space. So we are very interconnected. It's not a moralistic thing. It's just to be aware, not only that we are connected, but that everything we do is affecting everything else. But everything I say is almost dogmatic or moralistic. So please read the text and see how it begins to speak to you. These 5 you really want to know by heart. And we suggest you learn them in order. So anytime somebody will ask you, what are the 5 truths? You can say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And sometimes one speaks more than another to you. You can practice one because the other ones are contained in each one. And then you're drawn to become another one. So a master of life is really a master of the 5 truths. These are the 5 cards that we have been dealt. And this is the ones we are going to play with. These 5 is what we deal with, what we play with in every situation. So every situation you have these 5 cards to make the best of it. There's not another card that's not included. There's no joker you can pull from somewhere. There's not some kind of own strategy that you need to apply on top of the 5 truths. It's the 5 truths. It makes you naked, truthful, and very authentic. So study them, read them, see which one are drawn to you, and always I hope they give you a sense of, and always we hope they give you a sense of hope, positive feelings, a promise. And if you align yourselves with them, and if you respect them, the body, the mind, the senses will align with them. Good luck.